Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. Okay, so as you will notice, I got my first bookshelf yesterday. Today, I just wanted to take you on a journey as I fill up my bookshelf. So let's get started. First of all, I just want to get this out of the way right now. I have the entire Twilight series. Next, I've got Unicorn Western, which is an independent self-published book by two friends of mine, Sean Platt and Johnny B. Truin. It is an amazing book that is exactly what it sounds like. I've got the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. We'll put that on the first shelf for Collins. I have a book called Anticipation by Lexi Maxwell. This is not a book for children at all. I've formatted several books for her, including this one. She sent this to me because I formatted the book for her, so there you go. This is called The Religion, and it's by Tim Willix. It is an amazing, amazing book about the siege of Malta and the Knights Templar being involved in all of that. This is my Roger Zelazny collection. It is a whole bunch of books from the Chronicles of Amber series. My Terry Pratchett collection. For anybody who doesn't know, Terry Pratchett is a British fantasy author, and he's probably one of the funniest authors I've ever read. A few more classic old sci-fi stories. We've got Robert A. Heinlein, The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, Clifford D. Simak's City, The Weapon Makers by A.E. Van Vogt, and E.E. Doc Smith's Masters of Space. Considering how empty the top two shelves are, I'm seriously thinking that I overestimated how many books I have. My Orson Scott Card collection. Orson Scott Card, one of the best science fiction authors ever, even though he's got some personal issues that I don't necessarily agree with. This book is called The Dark Ascent, and it's by Walter H. Hunt. I have not read this. This was a gift to me many years ago, and I never got around to reading it. I've got Brissinger by Christopher Paolini. I actually like this series a lot, and I'm so disappointed in the Aragon film that came out. Who knows, one day maybe they'll let me reboot it. These are the only two Tolkien books that I have in my possession right now, and I know what you're thinking. Garrett, what the hell? You're like the biggest Tolkien nerd ever. A lot of my Tolkien books are actually at my dad's place, but now that I have somewhere to put them, I can go pick them up. Dreams from My Father by Barack Obama, given to me by a friend, and I actually found it to be a very interesting read. The Ultramarines Omnibus. If you are not a Warhammer and Games Workshop fanatic, you should be, because I used to play those games when I was a kid. I still have my models. One day when Luke is older, we will play again together. We will collect armies. They will fill up an entire room in our house. Shogun. Enough said. The Far Pavilions by MMK. My father and my mother, before she died, both listed this... My father and my mother, before she died, both listed this as one of their favorite books, and I read it, and it was amazing. But this note just fell out of it, which was from them when they gave it to me. The Far Pavilions, MMK, one of the great books in my years of reading. Both your mom and I love this book, which is rare because we have different tastes in what we read for pleasure. British Army in India, also a fantastically romantic love story set in amazing historical times. This is an interesting one. This is our clan heritage of the Gun Clan. My father and I are very, very proud that our roots trace back into Scottish history, and this is apparently kind of the heritage and written history of the clan that we descend from. The Help by Catherine Stockett, definitely a fantastic novel. It's kind of a white person shows up to save the black people story, but it's still good, and it still does cast an important light on what conditions were like in that part of the country at that time. Brad Meltzer's The Book of Lies. These books are so dusty, it keeps getting all over me. Into the Wilderness by Sarah Donati. I really don't know what this book is or where it came from. Somersault by Kenzaburo Oe, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, so it's probably a decent book. This is a book called Theta by Sassia Fox. This is the last book that I have with me to put on the shelf. This is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So those are all of my actual books that I have in my possession at this moment in time. So before we start putting the comic books and other graphic novels on the bottom shelves, let's do some movie magic. Huzzah! That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, I almost omitted two of the most important books in my entire collection. This is a little independent child adventure story by an author you probably haven't heard of. His name is Z.C. Bolger, and it is Danny Calloway and the Puzzle House. And then this is a little independent fantasy novel by an author that you probably haven't heard of. His name is Garrett Robinson with Z.C. Bolger, and it is Mid-Realm. Comic books! So many comic books! More Marvel comic books and Star Wars and everything. If you have books that you think are an absolute must-have for my collection, you can feel free to mention them in the comments below. I will get to them as soon as I have money. Alright, well that's all for today, Rebels. Thank you very much. I wrote 2,043 words yesterday, so getting back up there. Today should be another productive weekend day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!